path less known, with haunted streets where the eerie winds moan. Creatures lurking just beyond the light, not just tales spun to frighten the night. The masquerade of ghosts, they walk along in this gritty realm. We're all too young. Take the red road, let the spirits unfold. Follow resonant cockins, let the mysteries be told. Through the dark we'll weave into the unknown. With each step we take closer to home. They say it's fantasy, those hidden cries, but the brave-hearted witness the truth in the skies. Ancestral voices in the softest breeze, whispering wisdom that brings you to your knees. Those who mark when shadows start to crawl are the first to flee.
Welcome back to another week of Red Road Paranormal. I greatly appreciate it with your favorite redneck here. Tonight we got a special show. We have Anthony, make sure I get this right, Simonelli, and we have Jenny Kalushi on the show tonight. So come on up.
Hello.
How you
Did
doing?
I get it right? How you doing?
How you
All
doing?
All right. Want to make sure we got everything right.
Thank
So
you.
for my viewers that normally tune in that don't know who you guys are, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Go,
Jenny.
Anthony. Go. No, you go.
You go, ladies first.
That's the
Okay.
proper way.
I love it. That's very nice. We work together, obviously. So
Couldn't
we are,
tell.
yeah, we're definitely a pair. I'm Jenny. I've been investigating the paranormal for about 25 years now. I'm definitely much more on the skeptic side, not skeptic, I would say critical thinker side of things. I'm not a sensitive, I'm not a medium, anything like that. I like to approach things really scientifically as much as I can. I realize that we can't always do that, and there's a lot of wonder in what we do, and I love that too. That's the beauty of it. I got involved really to try to help people not be afraid, to try to calm people who were really scared, whether it's in their business or their home, and reassure them really by debunking things mostly, or helping them deal with what activity they did have. So that's my short story. And I am a co-host of Seekers Chronicles Paranormal Historians with my friend Anthony.
Yeah, which we just came off of.
We just came off of, so we're a little bit.
We came off our show, came right onto your show.
I appreciate that.
Oh,
I know
it's
how
good.
I know how it's like with the quick turnarounds. You know, and I love the fact that you mentioned how you like to debunk things first. That, in my opinion, you have to. As a paranormal investigator, I'm also a psychic medium, more like a 4X, but still, I look at debunking things
Like
first.
He stole your joke, Anthony. He stole your
I know,
joke.
that's my joke. I use it all the time.
Hey, see, we get along. Forget about it.
Hey.
You know?
Right, but don't you think we should work
Well, there's
together,
different
right?
mothers,
Like,
okay?
I love
Right.
working with mediums. I love working with mediums.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, what I love about that is the fact that sometimes you'll be in a location where you have a spirit in the corner going, I ain't doing those stupid human tricks. I ain't going to mess with that equipment. And they're just sitting there, they're talking to you as a medium and not interacting. You know, a lot of times you have to, hey, dude, you got to give me some props here. You got to go interact with this. Let them know I'm not full of BS here.
Right.
So sometimes they do. And sometimes they go, stupid human tricks.
We need you. Yeah.
So, Anthony, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I've been investigating since I was 13 years old. So going 50 years, I've been doing this.
Okay.
I was doing it before people actually accepted it as much as now. You know, so I went through the years of, people that didn't want to be part of it, whatever. But I've been doing it. I started experiencing things since I was 3 years old. And as I told my parents and stuff like that, and they didn't, my mother, they believed me. I come from a Italian Catholic family, so couldn't talk to so much. So,
Right.
and so I used to pick up a crayon, pencil, a pen, with everything, and I started drawing it. So back then, when I was a kid, I was drawing this stuff. So I do spiritual art right now. I'm a spiritual. I call myself the spiritual sketch artist.
Okay.
And when I go into locations, I see um, different, like you said, spirits and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And they're in the corner. They don't want to deal with the equipment, but I'll see them and I can draw what I see. So I actually give a face to the dead.
Okay. Cool. I
So
like
that's
that.
what I do. And I've been investigating for years. So, I've been to a lot of locations and stuff like that. And we got our podcast. And so keep busy that way.
Nice.
You know?
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, as an artist myself, I've yet to mix the two of the paranormal with my artwork.
You should try it.
Really?
Yeah, I actually there's moments when I'm tattooing, I will zone out and others think I'm channeling because I'll come back and be like, damn, that looks cool. I didn't think I had that in me.
Wow.
And it's not like
That's so
it's not
cool.
like I seen it or experienced it. It's just boom, it's there already.
Yeah.
It's almost like a trance, like another level that you have that
Yeah.
you kick into.
Yep.
Mhm.
As long as the music's flowing right and I can hit that zone, I'll blank
Sure.
out and I've shocked myself too many times. I actually had
you
someone
wake up.
tell me, yeah, I've had someone tell me, well, that's because you're channeling, you're
That's
letting
pretty
others
cool.
work through you.
Mhm.
So
I mean, as an artist, I mean, you should try that when you go to locations. If you actually seen these entities or spirits, whatever you might see, they might know you're an artist, and they might want you to give them, like I said, a face.
Yep.
And I think sometimes they come to me. It's not because, well, maybe because they know I could draw them, and I can actually, because a lot of these things you can't get on camera. You don't get
Right.
you don't get a lot of
Right.
this stuff. And I just put it on a piece of paper with a pencil, and that's how I end up doing it. And I've been pushing that for a while now. It's and I didn't even think it was anything until like 3 years ago. I've been drawing for years.
Mhm.
And one of my friends actually talked me into showing my stuff, and that's what I did. And now it's everybody seems to appreciate what I've done through the years, because
Right.
I thought it was my own personal experiences, and not everybody believes your personal experience.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
oh, you seen that in the corner. So I didn't think, oh, you drew, you got a great imagination. But if you see the variations of all the different things, all the different creatures, all the different spirits that I draw, they're not alike.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
that's the whole thing, and they got to do with it. Jenny's seen all my stuff, so
They're so specific. He also tells a story with each picture. It's not
Yeah.
just a drawing. It's this woman, used to work here as a baker, and she has red hair, and she has it's very specific,
yeah.
which
And
is
I
unusual.
shock myself too.
Yeah.
I shock myself. I'll draw something,
Right.
and I'm getting to a point like last year or so that people show me pictures, and I could draw something from that picture. And we have people that come on our podcast, and show, we show evidence.
Yeah.
And I'll draw something, or they'll just tell me a story of their location and stuff, and I'll just get an image and I'll draw it, and I'll send it to them. They're like, "Oh my goodness, we
Right.
just had that with the DOS house not too long ago."
Yeah. That's a new
Nice.
level for you.
And it's coming to a point that I could actually see pictures. I call it remote drawing, because
Right.
I have to be a location, and
Instead of viewing, remote
yeah,
drawing.
and the person talks to me too, and I could give them something from that location, which I think is, to me, shocks me every time. Shocks me. It's
You're
like,
so good.
Right.
it's like, really, really, really. I get so excited. I got pictures hanging up in the Hinsdale house, now the DOS house, and I'm gonna be in a book in England. So it's
Yeah.
Nice.
It's interesting how everything just came together with that.
Right. That is pretty cool. To be able to take that art and then to run with it with the paranormal and then to be recognized for it. That's an astonishing feat right there.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the guys is I have a picture of his house. He's doing a documentary on his haunted house that they just ripped down and everything. and he actually asked if he could put one of my pictures in his documentary. I'm
Oh,
like,
nice.
yeah.
Nice.
And it's coming to, it's like, I'm very, to me, if I say something, I show you, and then you say, and they get familiar, I'm just like, wow, this is pretty cool. Doesn't matter how many years you do something, you get something, you still like that little kid, like, oh, cool.
Yep. Oh yeah, I'm that way on investigations because I go in completely blind. I don't like to know any of the history or anything. I go in, and then
Okay.
anything I pick up on, there's already pre-documented because we film everything we do. And so when the later footage comes out and I get to see it, I go, "Holy crap, I was right!" Or
Yeah.
wow, it blows my mind every day.
The validation's really good
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah.
'Cause,
And you guys are so helpful to me because I don't see anything, never have. Like Anthony can show me a picture. This is a guy who's over there, like you said, in the corner, and this is his demeanor. This is what he looks like. And it helps me ask the right questions,
Yeah.
So we really work together in that respect.
Yeah.
And it's great when you have a partner that you can work like that with.
Yeah,
Because the energies flow just right. You can bounce things back and forward,
it's true.
and it helps with the investigation.
And I always send it down the darkest and the dirtiest hallway.
Yeah, he's like, you go. Yeah, you go.
Me too.
You go in that crawl space. You go in that dark. Yeah, he stops me up there.
If I go into a crawl space, I'm not crawling back out. I'm gonna be like a cork in a bottle.
Oh my
Right.
God.
Well, I'm 6 foot, 325 pounds. I'll go anywhere the darkest,
I love
dirtiest
it.
spots they are.
love it.
I've learned over the years that darkness runs from me. So you tell me, oh, there's an evil spirit down there. Well, I'm going to go down there and check it out. And
Oh yeah.
chances are I'm not going to get anything because as I'm coming in, they're going somewhere else in the building to stay away from me.
They're like, no, thank you. Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
I used to love doing that. I used to crawl in all these little crannies and stuff like that. But the body's not there no more.
Now he makes me. Now he just shoves me in there.
So it's like, hey, Jenny, you think you could do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like Mikey.
You get in this coffin, Jenny. Yeah, you go in that. But I am an attic and basement person. Like I always go like right to the basement or right to the attic. I love those
Right.
places.
Yeah, best places.
Well, it's like Gwen and me went on a road trip last summer for Paranormal Walkabout, and we were up at Eloise.
Right.
First place I wanted to go was down in the basement by some of the tunnels.
Mhm.
I was drawn
Sure.
down there.
Ooh,
Slapped
tunnel.
the old Estes gear on, and away I went.
Yeah.
That's the place to go. I agree with you.
Yeah, well, spirits I always found out hide in cluttered areas. Usually the basement or the attic are the two areas where there's more clutter than anywhere. And that's why you always see shadows in those places too, because there's usually stuff there that, they're hiding behind. I don't know if it's where they go to stay. I don't know. But
I think with that theory, it's because it's the least trafficked area. Because you don't have a lot of people that go into the basements or in the attics. They use them for storage, and they can kind of be left alone. Or the other option is maybe there's something that they're fond of in one of them storage areas that they're trying to stay close to.
Yeah. Something stored up there.
Yeah.
Some of their property, their old property, or something like that.
I never thought of that. You often do pack things up when someone passes away, right? And store it in a hope chest or like a box or something in the attic. Yeah.
And it's always stuck in the attic, and sometimes
You have
got
grandma's
generations
wedding
of
dress in the attic,
stuff.
right? Yeah,
Right.
always. Yeah. Right.
Something personal, to a person that
That makes sense.
Yeah.
and so I feel that's good. That's if you have something personal. I'm a big believer of that. If you have something personal to somebody that was alive that's still around, and that's personal to them. I always use it when I used to speak. I used to say like a guitar. This guy played the guitar his whole life, and that was his main thing. Now he passes, and nobody in his family plays guitar, so they sell it or they give it away, whatever. And that guitar still has his energy on it, and this person could still be around it. That's only if they don't pass over. Because not everybody stays.
All right. Yeah, some do pass over, some come back.
Visitors,
some,
I got some visitors.
some decide just to stay here and not go over.
Hmm.
And I've noticed even with some of the stuff that is left behind, even if they pass over, they'll still come back and check on their things and their family.
Hmm.
So like your guitar situation, yeah, I could definitely see it from the energy being left behind from playing that guitar for all them years, the
Hmm.
blood,
Yeah.
sweat, and tears that are put into it, along with the energy. It's
Yes.
going to hold it,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
I feel
And
that's possible.
and then whoever now is playing that, they're going to start having experiences, and if they're
Mhm.
sensitive enough, they very
Yes.
well could be channeling that other
Right.
person in, and
Mhm.
they're learning from the other side.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Good or bad.
Yeah. Mhm.
Right.
That's interesting. Yeah. That's I guess that could be possible. They are channeling through it if they have abilities.
You know,
Yeah.
Imagine have like Jimi Hendrix guitar, or
Oh, right.
and
right.
then you go out there and you have Jimi Hendrix guitar, and you could challenge to Jimi Hendrix, and you be the new. It's like, wow,
You
one of the
know,
greatest guitarists again.
yeah,
It's a great example, a musical instrument. It's so
Yeah.
personal.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's their precious, their love and joy.
Hmm.
You know, so yeah, definitely, I could see that.
I like it.
Yeah.
You know,
They're definitely energy wise and stuff like that. You know.
We
and yeah,
I was part of a documentary where there was an antique shop it was a documentary about an antique shop in New Jersey, in Denville, New Jersey, and they had a guitar that they didn't sell because it wasn't just energy; it was really negative. Like there was some really negative events associated with the person who originally owned it, who passed it down, and then there were more negative events. Seemed like bad kind of things just followed it, so they
yeah,
made the decision not to sell it. And I actually I'd seen that guitar move, like fly over, things like that. Like really, it was
yeah.
that place was the first time I had seen objects move and fly,
Hmm.
cameras turn, things like that. So
I've seen
that's some
cameras
serious
turn.
energy. That's some
Hmm.
energy.
You know,
Yeah.
you
I mean, I've
know.
seen doors open, but nothing like, things flying off shelves.
Now, with that example, I almost wonder now. Let's play devil's advocate here. Is
Yeah.
it that it's negative, or is it that something is waiting for the right person to walk into that store, the
Hmm.
right energy to take that home with them in order to play it? Like we were saying, someone's energy could be the last person who owned it, loved that thing so much that will not allow anyone to take it unless
Right.
they know they're going to love and cherish it like they do.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's so funny that you said that because I was recently, you're going to think I'm nuts, but I was thinking about this with houses. I
Hmm.
was thinking if say you build your house, you live in it with your family and you own it and you loved it and you raised your kids and someone moves in and like really hates it. I always thought, well, maybe you might not like that so much, kind of thing.
Yeah,
And you might make them miserable in that house. Same idea.
right.
Like
Yeah,
you're
I
waiting for
definitely.
think
the right
I
people
feel
to move
things
into
call
the
out to you
house.
also. Some things
Right.
actually just call out to you. You go
Yeah,
there, and you go, this is it. This is it. This is what I want, and it calls out to you. And sometimes you think you choose something, and it chooses you.
yep,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I've had
that's
that happen in my life. Different things over the years. You
Oh,
walk in,
sure.
you're not even in the market for anything, and you see it, and you go, "That's got to come home with me."
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and there's nothing that's going to stop you from taking it home.
Mhm.
Right. Right. Right.
You could be spending your
I agree
last
with
dollar to eat for the week, but you're buying that item.
Mhm. Unless your wife stops you.
I ain't got one of them no more, so I ain't gonna worry about that.
Oh, okay.
Or your bank account stops you.
Yeah,
That's
Spend your
another thing.
last dollar. Yep.
you're down to your last dollar. And
Hmm.
so it's just interesting how objects, you know, are like we were just talking about, trigger objects on investigations,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and we were just talking about the trigger objects. And I'm a big believer, and so is Jenny, trigger objects on certain locations and stuff, especially with children and everything. You know,
Yeah.
Right.
you
But
know.
really thinking about them, like really making them specific. Like we were talking about, like I do a lot of 1700s places. Like I have wooden toys, I have marbles, I have jacks, things
You
like
know,
that. You
the
can't
stuff
just
they're
bring like
familiar
a
with.
teddy bear and expect everyone to know what a teddy bear is before Teddy Roosevelt. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
Mhm.
right.
Well,
I
teddy
love
bears
you
are
brought
around
that
before
up.
Teddy Roosevelt. You know that.
They
Yeah,
were
I know,
around,
but
but
they
they
weren't
weren't
called that.
popular.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
weren't popular, and since he had one, that's why they call it Teddy's bear.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But you
they
don't
were
bring a
around
Tonka
before
truck.
that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So,
You bring a ball.
You
mhm.
know.
Yeah, ball or whatever. So it's you got to we bring trigger objects and everything like that. So
Yeah.
it's and lately I would have been doing investigations like me and Jenny, we just did it at Penhurst and all different locations. But at Penhurst, we just sat there and I said let's let the building talk to us. We just
Oh,
sat
yeah.
there with our
We
recorders
always
and
do
our
that.
video with the video, the night
Yep.
vision cameras on, and just let everything talk to us. And she got one video. Well, what was it? It said it actually cursed at it cursed.
So I just turned the recorder on and we said we're just going to be silent and listen to the building. And we're pretty good about really giving it time because some people do that for like 3 minutes. You know what I mean? And that's not enough time. You really have to have more patience, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
So we waited for like 20 minutes, half hour. And I played the recorder back and some guy was complaining about having to work. He's like, I can't believe I have to up and work tonight. I'm like, this is not like it was so
On the
funny.
EVP, and it came out that clear.
It was
Nice.
so clear. I was like, that's not a person. Like it was that loud. This guy,
Yeah,
as soon
it
as
was
we
one
got
of the
quiet, this
locations.
guy was like, I can't believe this.
Yeah, that was at Penhurst. So that's the recent one we just
I
did.
love those kind of EVPs that are hilarious.
Yeah, I had a. It was like, did he just say that? He was like,
I know.
it's like,
Can't believe I gotta
whoa,
work
that he just was like, you
all
couldn't
night.
believe the guy was upset. He was complaining on our EVPs
It was great.
on the
Yeah.
recorder. He had to work all
But
night.
if we weren't quiet, we might have missed it. If we were talking over
Right.
it, we might have missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of my
Yeah, you
favorite
would've.
techniques is to leave a recorder and walk away and just say,
Yep.
I'm going to leave this here. You let me know. You say your piece, give me your message. You say what you want to say. I get more that way than asking, the same old questions.
Exactly. I've actually been out on investigation before and had my recorder going and forgot to shut it off.
Yes.
So then it's in the car for hours with me. And you
Yes.
go out and you realize, oh, it's still on. You back it up a few minutes and you have something there.
Yeah.
Hours away from the investigation, miles away, nothing should be there,
No.
but it is. And it's corresponding to what you were doing at the investigation.
Whoa. So they go with him just like they go with you. Anthony, like at home, he's got like in and out with spirits
Yeah,
coming
they
in,
come in
watching
and out.
TV with them, popcorn.
I got to a point because as much as you want to protect yourself, there's always something going to be following you home eventually, or here and there. And if anybody says no, that's not true.
No.
Because
No.
everything follows.
I've never had anything follow me home.
And what happens is that things, I do protect myself and everything, but
Yep.
I still get things still follow me home. And then when I do, I'd like to see like a head pop out or something. And I say, join me. I'm watching the TV. He goes, well, come in, and I welcome it in.
Yep.
But the whole thing is, it's not like, I think because I'm not afraid of it or I'm not showing any fear, it doesn't stay long. It just comes in and that's it. I actually felt the chest in the couch go down next to me a couple of times.
I've had that on the edge of the bed late night watching
Really?
TV, and it feels like someone sits on the edge of the bed.
Yeah.
Really?
And I know that's my loved ones because that's what I allow in my house with me. Because
Aw.
my guides will keep everything else out, And I tell them when I'm on location, you're more than welcome to interact with me. I'm here for you. But once I leave, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You have
most of them do
bodyguards.
listen. Yeah, most of them do listen.
Gotta stay.
I've
Oh,
had
yeah.
chances where a few kids have followed me home, from an investigation, and that's because they were sent home with me.
Hmm.
The mother was on the location. They knew that, I was a father. I'm a big cuddly teddy bear, even I'm big and scary, so they have that. They knew that they'd have that protection. Well, it came to a point where, you're walking through the house, you're seeing little things, little kid heights just dashing around. And then you got the grandkids over and you notice that, well, I swear I just seen a kid leave and they're right there next to you,
Yeah.
You smell like a little bit of a smoke and stuff like that. And eventually you just got to go, hey, it's time to go back home, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
You hung out long enough. You're safe. You're good. You let
Yeah,
them go.
yeah. I mean,
For sure.
sometimes these kids follow you because, like you said, they associate you with something like maybe you're like a father figure or uncle figure, even a
Mhm.
brother figure, and that's why they do attach to you at certain times. It's not
True.
only a child. I mean, you could be on a location and a woman or a man, and they feel some kind of connection to you, your life, and what their life was. So that's why I think that's my theory why they follow you sometimes
Yeah.
because
Hmm.
they feel that connection somewhere along the line. If it's not, you know, a family member or a friend or
Sure.
boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever it might be. That's why I think they have a connection because they associate you with something else.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
They
I've
can
gone
trust
to,
you.
yep. I've gone to a few locations where it's come out that I've been there in a past life. So the location itself welcomes you in
Oh,
and
that's
calls
cool.
you back. You know,
So people, I love that, Res, so much. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I love that gets me enthusiastic because I love when people talk about locations as almost like beings,
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Like living things.
Well, everything in this world is energy. Everything.
Yeah,
Everything from this mic that I'm speaking on to us, to the
right,
headphones, to the fieldstone house that I live in.
right.
You know, it's all energy. It's just in different
Exactly.
forms. So
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
all living and breathing at some point in time in some sort of way.
Right. But a
So
house
yeah.
has a life of its own, really. And like land has a life of its own. And Anthony knows like I'm a huge, huge outdoor investigator, like out in hikes and in the woods and everything like that. And people think, oh, how'd you get like an EVP in the middle of the woods? Are you kidding? Like I get a ton of EVPs in the middle of the
Yeah.
woods.
Yeah.
Um,
I've done
why would you
Estes in the
not?
middle of the woods.
Yeah.
This past Christmas Eve, my brother was dealing with some issues. He had lost his son the year prior,
Mm.
and he just wanted to go hang out and ride in the woods all night. I'm like, fine, let's go. And I
Yeah.
brought my equipment with, and I'm like, you know what, let's do an Estes session. Pull over. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with the no you didn't in the woods. You hear a baby cry? No, you didn't. You hear your
A
name
fox.
called? No, you didn't.
Right.
You hear whistling in the woods? No, you didn't. And you get the hell out of there. That
Yeah.
it's Native American tradition, and a lot of the mountain people have that same tradition. Well,
Yes.
I'm out there doing Estes, and I'm spitting out what's coming through when I'm hearing, and all of a sudden I go, I had the brains enough not to whistle back, but I go, I heard a whistle.
Oh,
And then my brain stops for a second, goes, nope, we're done. No, you
no,
didn't. And
thanks.
we're gone.
Out of here.
Yeah, went to the next trail, and he gets out to use the restroom, and I've never seen this old guy run this quick. He goes flying back up to get us out of here. Why?
Yep.
What's up? I was peeing and I heard a whistle. So they
That's
were
like a
messing
nope,
with.
nope, nope.
Nope, no, you didn't. I'm out. Peace, deuces.
I
Yeah,
never heard
later.
that because I have heard whistles out in the woods and
What'd you
wooded
do?
area.
Yeah,
I,
You
yeah,
whistle back.
I
Did you
continue
whistle
probably.
back?
peeing. I continue peeing.
Yep,
No,
whatever you
no, I
don't
have
whistle
heard it
back.
out there, and I mean, I'm like anybody there. I question it, and of course I have my camera and stuff like that. I'm looking for
Yeah,
something, or my thermo. My thermo I always bring with me. I'm outside.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
Thermo cam, my thermo video. You know,
oh, yeah.
that's
yeah.
when you're outside because you might hear a whistle and it could be a live person. So if you
Hmm.
see red on the thing, you know it's a
Yeah,
live
yeah.
person.
I love
And
that.
I would worry more about live people out there than
Oh yeah,
Always,
yeah,
always.
the
Yeah.
deceased.
yeah.
If you see a blue thing there, that I'd be like, oh, okay,
Let's
anybody
talk.
there? Yeah, I'd be like, let's talk. You want me to
Yeah,
Yeah.
sketch you?
right,
I'm not you, Res. Like I'm alone in the middle of the woods and I hear somebody whistling, I'm out, kind of thing. Yeah.
right. That's just
Yeah.
traditions.
I'm
You
more afraid of a
follow them.
human,
Yeah.
living human out
I'm
there
I'm
than
from
I
I'm
am.
from the city, so we don't got those traditions.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, see, I was born and raised in Chicago, but I transplanted over 20 years back up here to the reservation. So I got 20
Okay.
years in the woods. So
Nice.
these are all things I've learned over the last 20 years up here.
Mhm.
I love these. I love that. I love what you said with the three. That was really interesting. I hadn't
That's
heard that.
interesting. I never heard that, but
Yeah.
I'll keep that under advisement because I have
I feel
heard
like-
Baby on the Woods.
But it was a fox. I had one
I
on
have-
a recording.
Sometimes yes, sometimes they can be, but
Yeah,
not
that's what that-
always.
I debunked the one place it was a fox, but
Yeah, they sound like
it
babies.
was in a barn up in the Newburgh, and we heard crying like a baby crying, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Right.
But then I looked into it more. There was red female foxes in heat up there, and they
Yeah.
sound like crying babies.
Okay.
And so yeah, so that was interesting. It was like because I don't like to go and say everything's haunted. I'm not a person like that. I go in there and say, people tell me, oh, that place is haunted. Okay, you got to prove it to me. I got it. It has to be proven to me.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know
on
what I
the
mean?
same boat there.
You
Yeah,
know?
the problem with that is that you're starting at a conclusion, right? So like
Yeah.
we don't want to do that. And
Mhm.
everybody gets sick of me saying it, but I think you should do this. Like don't try to come to the point where it's haunted. Start here and open up and figure out what it is.
Yeah.
You know, like don't start with a conclusion because it's like confirmation bias, right? Like
Mhm.
everything you see is confirming that bias that it's haunted.
Yeah.
Right. You know, and I used to work with a separate team years ago when I first got out publicly into this. And they'd always ask, why do you always want to go to the pay to play places? Because just because Joe Schmo gets this evidence doesn't mean I'm going to get the same thing. You know, because when you go in with that clear head, you never know who or what's going to interact with you, what you might learn. You might find the real truth of the story where Joe thinks he has it, but he's missing a piece.
Mhm.
And what you find actually opens up the big picture.
Yeah. I agree with
Right.
that because
Right.
being a paranormal investigator, and now I call myself a supernatural spectator because spirits come to us. They only give to us what they want. So
Right.
people think, oh,
Mhm.
we're investigating them. Yeah, but the only evidence you're going to get is they share it with you. It's not you're going to get it out of them. They share it with you. So we're spectators in their world. You know, we're trying to, go into their world. They're not really in our world. We're trying to go into their world to get evidence. So that's why I call it spectator. So
I like that.
I do too.
because
I love it.
because they're not going to give you anything they don't want. So
Right.
It's good. You're a supernatural spectator spirit artist. It's like alliteration. I love it.
Right.
I mean, they come to draw them.
Of course they do.
We need to get that on a shirt for him.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's like
Spectator.
SSS as a supernatural spectator spirit artist, Anthony Simonelli. It's a lot of S's.
That's
That's so many
amazing.
letters. You know how much that's going to cost to put that on your shirt?
Yeah, I agree. That's a lot. It's
Yeah,
going to be
well-
a big shirt.
We'll talk after the show. I actually have a
Yeah.
t-shirt line.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Res
All right, love it.
Ink and Printify.
Yeah.
So
I love it. But the other
Yeah.
thing, Rez, is like, do you think that my latest thing, and we're doing an event in August called the Hollow at Stockton University in New
Okay.
Jersey, and I'm doing a
Jersey.
lecture on how, like, as investigators, we affect locations. So, like, how
Yeah.
we affect the location. So you were saying, this is an example. So there's a little boy who haunts that room, right? So everybody's
Yep.
like, there's a little boy who haunts that room. There's a little boy who haunts that room. And suddenly there's a little boy who haunts that room.
Topaz.
Is there really a little boy who passed away who haunts that room? Or did we just create, right? Like a thought
We
form of
created
a
it.
little boy.
Yeah,
right.
we created a
And-
Topa at that point.
And right, exactly. And that's what I'm lecturing about. And I personally think it happens more than we know. Like, I think it might be a
Oh, yeah.
high percentage of the investigations we do in places that are visited a lot.
Yes, you are correct, ma'am.
Thank you.
I'm the first one to say, yeah, you got to watch what you say that's out there, because there's been examples where I've heard people go in different locations and be like, again, we met Joe there. Joe was a quiet little
Right.
guy. He was, peaceful. He was just stuck in the same side because he was simple-minded. Well, someone else came in, started saying, well, Joe's a crawler. He comes
Right.
across the ceiling. He's all deformed. And that story's going to catch on quicker than little Simple Joe,
Of
and
course.
so that catches on. Next, you know, you have that crawler.
Oh yeah, and you
And that-
and you literally have video of it. Like you can
Yeah.
capture it, but it's
Yeah.
not real.
No,
Yeah.
and, you know, and another
Right
example
on
is the Slender Man. There was
Slender Man's
never
a perfect example.
there was
Yep.
never a Slender Man, and so all these kids started saying, "Oh, the Slender Man," and all of a sudden, now it's
Right.
born.
The Rake. The Rake is another one
The rake is a
that
Yep.
big.
came from, yeah, that now people are actually seeing, which was a fictional character.
You know,
So yeah,
Yeah. The Slender Man, I drew a picture of. I was at this location, and I seen a shadow, a guy with the hat, tall, skinny, and stuff.
Mhm.
And I didn't have no idea what the Slender Man was. So what happened
Really?
was I drew, yeah,
Yeah.
and I drew it, and then I'm at a location showing my art at one of the shows, and they say, "Oh, that's a Slender Man." I'm like, "Who the hell's a Slender Man?"
right?
that's
I'm
interesting
like,
because that wasn't in your head.
yeah,
Right.
I mean, I drew it, and it's like, "What's a Slender Man?" And I mean, everything. I noticed now when I first started paranormal, it wasn't even called paranormal; it was called supernatural.
Yep.
Okay, everything was called supernatural.
Mhm.
When the in 2000s, like after 2004 with the TV stations started making everything has a title now. Everything has what it's called.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Everything you see has a specific thing like Slender Man. And,
Like a label.
yeah,
Yeah.
everything's a label.
Classification.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything has to have a classification. And I'm like, why? You know, it's been there forever. Now you're going to give it a new name. You know,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. It's like,
New
Right.
name, new spin, and reboot it and repackage it. Set it down.
That's
Set
it.
it down the
like
highway.
Yeah.
like a lot of the equipment, like all that equipment. When I first stopped buying my equipment, I used to buy it at Home Depot, hardware stores. My
Oh
recorders I
yeah.
used to buy
Radio Shack.
at Target
Yeah.
or all these different hardware stores and stuff like that.
Sure.
And we didn't. I didn't even know what it was to buy equipment until I was buying these things. I all these different. Then I see these people and they're repackaging it in fancier thing and charging double the price.
Right.
Mhm.
And it keeps on going on. Matter of fact, some of the stuff that I bought from the hardware store, they were selling in their stores twice as much as I could buy in a hardware
Oh,
store.
because it was
Yeah.
paranormal
Yeah,
equipment.
now they
Yeah.
put
They
Oh.
labeled it.
or they put a sticker of their company or whatever on it, and they double charge double. Yeah, Walmart.
I
Yeah.
still use one. I still use a tape recorder as well, but
And
I have a compass that I still carry. That was one of my first pieces of
I always have a
equipment.
compass on me because that's
Do
one
you?
when I first started.
See?
I always have a compass and my dowsing rods.
Me too. Me too.
I always
That's
have my
awesome.
pendulum on me.
There
Yeah, I
you
got
go.
that also.
Yeah.
The
'Cause I'm going back
basics.
I'm trying to go back to some of my old stuff, but they repackage everything into all this other stuff, and I was looking and it's like I could buy that. Look at the cat balls that everybody uses now. All those cat balls they put there and they use. All right, the lights up.
You know.
You go to a Petco or something, you buy them quarter the price than if you could buy it for
Right.
more than. I mean,
Yeah.
I could buy a dozen for the price of like
Right.
3 of them I could get from online because now they call it paranormal equipment or
Yeah.
paranormal. You know what I mean? It's something how they just up to even when we used to go on investigations before it got really popular, I could go to a place like $50, $60. Now these things are like thousands of dollars. Are you kidding
Yeah.
me?
Yeah.
You know?
You know, it's expensive to buy the equipment nowadays.
Mhm.
True.
I know my previous team I worked with, we had over $20,000 in equipment alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and for a guy like me, I'm sorry, I can't afford that.
No.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
Alicia made a comment before, if Gwen can find it, talks about going into a location and your energy can affect the location on the investigation or something.
100%.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's one
Yeah.
thing that a lot of people don't realize. If
I
you're having
completely
a bad
agree.
day, if you're having a bad day or you're fighting with your wife, don't go
No.
because you can put yourself or your team or whoever's there with you at
Yeah.
some sort of harm.
So
Yes.
true.
I always notice if you go in with a negative attitude, you get less evidence anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
You go in with a positive attitude, giggling, laughing, whatever you're going to do, and a lot of times you get a good best EVPs when you're talking amongst each other, and
Yep.
you record it because they're answering at you or they're laughing at your joke or something. You're like, who was that? It was only us two here,
Right.
Yeah.
And that's you go in with positive energy because you go in negative, you're going to get less evidence, and yes, you could have something hurt you if
Yeah.
if you're not
Yeah.
careful.
Yep.
What was the
Yeah.
negative?
We had an example where me and some friends of mine got
Mhm.
to investigate a location. We were the first people in there, and this building's from the early 1800s.
How
Mhm.
nice.
And it was a bar and a bowling alley. And we were down in the basement where the old bowling alley is. The lanes are still in there, and a bunch of junk scattered everywhere, like we were talking earlier. And it was quiet. So we just start chopping it up, cracking jokes
Yeah.
with one another. And of course, me being native, I start cracking some of the racist native jokes.
Mhm.
All of a sudden, the equipment is going off like no other. We actually had one of the pieces go off so long, so hard that it fried a brand new battery.
No
It would
way.
not shut off.
I've seen this happen, so I
Yeah.
believe you. Like I know
You know,
that what you're
And
saying.
it was one of the most goofiest things ever. It was what did I say? Oh, I work out at my local casino asking white people if they have reservations too.
Mhm.
And it just blew up the whole piece of equipment.
That
You
is
know,
hilarious, actually.
you
But yeah,
know.
no, I think that if I were like, you have to always put yourself like, I'm not as sensitive, but I try to be empathetic. I try to put myself in the position of, someone who used to, I say this to Anthony all the time, like, what was it like to cook on this fire? What was it like to have 10 kids because you might lose some? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? What was life like, on the
Mhm.
prairie or in the Revolutionary War or whatever? Like I really try to put myself in that mind
Into
frame
their moment,
because
yeah.
you can connect better like that. I really think that, you going in as like 2026 Jenny, what do we have in common? You talk about things like I have children. Did you have children? Like I'm a mom. Are you a mom? Those are the things people throughout the ages will be able to relate to.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I go in not only with my native background and my history, but I go in as everything else I've done through my life. And I try to connect to every
Right.
location. And I
Mhm.
found out on a lot of these locations I go where I'm running into Native American spirits, they're welcoming me in, and then the rest will start warming up to me eventually.
Mhm.
The first ones
That
are
makes sense.
the heritage,
Yeah.
the bloodlines.
And we've
So,
seen that with friends of ours who have some native
mhm.
blood, in some native heritage, that they sometimes connect better. They really do get
Yep.
better connection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was out with some other
Of course.
mediums at a location they'd been to before, and there's native burial grounds there. And she goes, "Yeah, I've always seen a few out here and there." But when
Yep.
she walked out there with me, she looked, she's like, "Oh my God, the field
Wow.
is filled with them." And being a wise ass, I turned to her and go, "Welcome to my tribe. They walk with me everywhere." Because these locations we end up going to, it
Mhm.
seems like every time I show up to one, they send one of their scouts with me.
Mhm.
That's so nice. Oh, I
And it's
love
just
that.
like
Kind of makes sense, because what did the white people do to the tribes?
they massacred
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
So why would they go like a guy
That's
like me? Why would they come to me when they got somebody
absolutely
that has their blood that they feel more safer with?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
right.
that's the
Yep.
Right.
whole thing. That's why I always associate like I said before. You go into like a hospital of like Trans Allegheny or something, a hospital,
Pan-African.
old asylum type of thing.
Yep.
You go
Mhm.
in with, I go in with cameras and stuff. I don't carry stuff in my hands because how do they torture these people? How do they
Yeah.
experiment with things with lights and buzzers?
Yep.
If they
Yeah.
see you come in with a light or a buzzer in your
Right.
hand or you're putting stuff around, they're not going to come to you because they're going to be afraid that you're going to do something to hurt them.
That's
So
Exactly.
what spook them.
you got to understand that certain locations you go to, how to present yourself. You know, like
Yep.
you're Native American, and you know they'll come to you. the faster that it will come to a guy like me,
Right.
because the guy like me, not me personally,
Right.
but
Yeah.
a white
History.
person in
Yeah.
history,
Yeah.
that's who chased them off their land, who massacred them, from babies to everything. And at these hospitals, you go in with all these gadgets, and you just know where you're going, and know
Yep.
Right.
I know you don't like a history, but sometimes it's good to know some of the history
Yep.
because it could help you to get better evidence,
Right.
And that's how and also it helps you get the EVPs, questions on EVPs,
Oh yeah.
Like
I
Gettysburg,
agree.
I always ask certain questions, colors of uniform, even the buttons, because certain
Right.
buttons meant for certain divisions of
Yep.
certain states,
Yeah.
what was on their buttons, or, you ask questions like that, to
Yep.
get specific to certain things,
It's a really good point, Anthony. And I've
It
even
is.
like I think you can't be selfish. Like I've been in places where I know no man is going to answer me, and I'll have like one of the male investigators be like, "You need to talk. You need to be the one to talk. You need to be the one to answer the questions because
Mhm.
there's no way they're answering my questions here."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because at that time there's no way they would have listened to a woman about
Mhm.
these things. So hey, it's not about me. It's about the experience, the research,
Yeah.
the discovery that we're
Yep.
all into, right?
Yeah.
So I'll be like, Anthony, you need to ask the questions because they're not, and I'm not offended because we're
Right.
going into a different time, Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I love what you said, Anthony. That was good.
Yes, I agree with that. I was just on down in Baraboo a few weeks ago, and my question to them, because they weren't kind of answering anything, and we had someone on ask us, I'm like, are dirty old savages like me allowed in this building? And we gotta no. So
Oh,
back in the old times, the natives weren't allowed in that building back in the
right.
Western days. So that's
It's,
why they weren't answering me.
you have awareness of that. So did you
Mhm.
stay out?
I just kept my mouth shut and kind of helped when
Okay.
needed.
I like it. It's like
But
respect, even when you shouldn't. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
even when that's the wrong thing to say.
yeah,
Like it's just a respect for the building and the location. Like I said, that's not cool, but
yeah. But you know what? You got to realize in their time era, they're correct for what they believe in.
exactly.
It's
Like
not
you yeah,
2026 there. Just like
right.
another time areas, children and women were to be seen and not heard. So,
Right,
like you
exactly.
were saying, you weren't you let someone else speak or male speak for you at that moment.
Right.
That's because that was the time era that they're from.
Exactly. Which I would
Mhm.
never do that nowadays.
Oh
but
heck no,
which I would
no!
never do now.
You got a
But
voice, girl.
no
Let it
way.
roar.
But yeah, exactly. I would never let a man speak for me.
Mhm.
But at that time, yeah, exactly. I'm happy to have Anthony do it, and
you
or
know,
whatever. If you have a certain profession or you're certain, whatever. I just think it's better.
yeah,
The
Yeah.
more connection we can make, the better. That's the whole idea. We're connecting, right?
you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, we just said
You
something
should
about
know.
trigger options can be
Oh, I'm
people.
sorry.
Yes, I agree with that. People can be trigger objects.
Sure, they
Yes.
can.
Oh yeah.
My
Yeah.
prime example is when it comes to asylums and all that. I've been in for holds before for mental illness, for depression, bipolar, and I've been in the padded rooms. So
Right.
I connect a little bit to that. I know
Gotcha.
Mhm.
that feeling, that sorrow. And on the other hand, half my family's been locked up in prison, and I do have that little F behind my name where I haven't gone to the joint, but I've managed to screw up when I was younger. So
Right.
therefore, when you go into a prison, just because of that little F, they're going to
Yep.
talk to me first because they're going to see me as one of their own versus someone
Mhm.
that goes in there that may have been a guard at one point in time in the corrections
Mhm.
Right.
facilities.
Exactly. Like a police officer or something like that,
Yeah,
that they can
Yeah.
sense right away, of course.
right,
I love that. Yeah, it's really true. Or
Yeah.
me or something like that.
That's true.
right.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, I mean, when I used to go to Gettysburg to go investigate the thing, the way I cut my beard now with this, I would
Yep,
Hmm.
always. I have the full beard like you. I just did this recently, but I used to do this all the time when I went to Gettysburg because that was one of the styles
yep,
Hmm.
they used to use there, and that's the style that they was used by men at that time. So I
Yeah.
I used to do this on. Well, I like it now, so I'm just going to use it. It's easier to
Right.
clean. But
I mean,
You know,
whatever you can do to connect. Like I use language a lot. Like I'm Dutch, and I ask questions in Dutch, so like Dutch settlements in New York State, and I get answers back in Dutch, or I get answers back in English, answering the Dutch question, which is hilarious. But like they're answering it correctly, so they understood me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that's cool too. And we get, using different languages really works as well. If you're in a heavily Polish area, if you're in a heavily whatever, that helps too. I guess we've given enough examples. You get the point.
Yeah,
You
we
get
got
into
it.
the point.
Yeah, definitely.
We
Well,
got
we're
the
getting to the
examples out here. Hey,
We're
getting to
harping
the
on it.
top of the hour now. And I
Oh my
ask
gosh.
everyone that comes onto the show a question. That is, if money was not an option, you go anywhere in the world, where would you like to investigate? And we'll have Jenny, you go first. Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the
Access to
world.
anything.
Really?
Yep, full access.
Wow. It's someplace you can investigate, I think, but I would like to investigate at Pearl Harbor.
Okay. That'd be unique. That's the first time I've
Yeah.
heard that one.
That, or I've never done the West. Like I've never done like cowboys, that kind of like,
Yeah.
Tombstone and things like that. I haven't done that yet.
Oh,
I've done Europe and
unfortunately, we can't get into Tombstone.
yeah,
That,
but you know what I
that
mean.
one
Like,
jerk's got it locked down. So
yeah, but something like that. Like I've never been, I've been there, but I've never investigated a saloon.
right, I would love to investigate one of those old saloons like that. I think that'd be
Yeah.
cool. Then again, I think we'd run into the issue of natives not allowed being there.
Yeah, I think you'd have, yeah.
yeah.
I think I would have to serve drinks, but
Right. So what
What
about you,
about you?
Anthony?
I think the Roman Colosseum.
oh,
I like
nice.
that. I like
The
that.
gladiators.
The gladiators. You know what? Because look at all the stuff that happened there.
That's a
Yeah.
great one.
All the death, between the death and all the emotions and everything that had to go on there. So I
Yeah.
feel the Roman Colosseum would be that would be my top place if I had all access.
That would be
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Tower of London would be another good one.
Tower of
Yeah.
London. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, me,
Yeah.
everyone that watches the show knows this. My biggest thing is I want to do 30 days on the rock. I want to go to Alcatraz for 30 days.
30 days I will look. I've done Alcatraz back in
I have
1986. But I did it on a tour and I had some crazy experiences. Also, back then in '86, there was no digital cameras and all this other stuff. And my camera, because I was taking flash camera, back then with 35
Yep.
millimeter camera, it was like a box this big with a big.
Yeah.
And
I still have one of them 35s with
yeah,
interchangeable
I got a couple-
lenses.
Oh, yeah.
And my camera died. The camera didn't die. I took pictures all of the outside,
Yeah.
pictures on the inside. Then I took pictures on the outside. Was leaving. All the pictures on the inside did not come out. All the pictures on the outside did.
What?
I mean, not come out, but that was like. I remember back then you had to get your film developed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You had to
And
get your
take it
film
in the
developed.
Jewel Osco or somewhere to.
Oh, my gosh.
You
Those
know,
little
awesome.
photo mat things.
Yeah.
I've done Alcatraz as well in 1990. And
Nice.
a couple times actually, but that would be an amazing place.
Yeah.
But go outside on the island,
Well,
by the
Here's
where
the
the
thing.
apartments are, where they
I
live.
want to do the entire island. That's why I want 30 days.
That's a great
There's-
one. You got
Two reasons there. A, because of the fact that I have that little F behind my name, and
Right.
two, because of the AIM movement that took it over, the American Indian movement. They
Yeah.
took it over for an amount of time.
Right.
So therefore,
Really?
I should be able to get both sides of that energy to communicate with.
right.
Mhm.
And when you go, you're gonna not think of what you're gonna get. You're gonna just
Just go with
like
the
we
flow.
said, because you
Yeah.
never know. You might
30
get some
days
lady
for
who
that
used to
island
come
be
in and cut hair.
Right.
like-
Isn't that how long the Native Americans were there? Like 30 days?
Something like that. 30 or
Yeah.
60. I don't
Before they
remember
removed
exactly.
them, or
they do it on the
whatever.
tour. Yeah.
Yeah. I was that was back in the 60s, wasn't it?
60s, 70s, something like that. I think it was 70s.
Could
I have
be.
to brush up on my history. Yeah, I think it was the
I
70s.
love that place.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I went like I said, '86. I went back there, and a lot of places, a lot of parts you couldn't go in because it was falling down.
Yeah.
Right.
And I got
And-
pictures. Oh yeah, I got. I wish I would have brought that up because I have a picture of in the front as we're going there with the island.
hmm
Two people standing on the island watching us coming on. So I said something like to the guy driving us over there, because it was like the park people, and I said to them like, "Oh, there's people on the island." There's nobody on the island right now, and I got pictures of two people standing on one of the gates looking out
Oh, cool.
to us.
Guards still doing their
Good
job.
one,
Reporting
guys.
for
Those are
duty.
good.
Yeah.
So, all right, time for shameless plug time. So, how can everyone find you? Do you have any events coming up? Websites, everything.
Jenny,
Shows.
it's all you. You want to do it?
That's all me. Okay. So we have a podcast called Seekers Chronicles Paranormal Historians, where it's really where we talk about the history a lot of a place and where it meets the paranormal.
Yeah.
We do it with our friend Kim, who is a wonderful location medium and veterinarian, which really helps us with those animal noises too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have a lot coming up, but the biggest event
Our
we have
next one is Gettysburg.
Gettysburg and the Hollow,
Nice.
which is a
The
huge
Hollow.
convention. Anthony's
And
going to do a workshop with spirit art. You can say
Yeah,
it,
I'm,
but
I'm doing sketching with the spirits. I'm doing a workshop showing people how to sketch a little bit and how to, how to come across and how to draw a spirit.
so
then,
good.
then after that, I'm going to be at the Parajam. It's in Gettysburg Parajam, which is pretty cool. It's they deal with the paranormal, and then they have bands
A concert.
Nice.
jamming. So that's
Very
awesome.
Cool.
That's a lot
Cool.
of fun.
Then
And then
after
the
that-
Hollow, which is the huge one. Like
yeah,
when you're like, for me, I'm doing a lecture on, like we said, it's called Haunted by the Living. And then I'm also doing a workshop how to build a really simple, pod, like a pod.
Okay. Very
Yeah.
cool.
I'm a tinkerer, a
then
nerd.
we got
Figured that out
at
by
the
now.
Ritz Theater. We're going to be doing a show at.
We are.
We're going to be doing the Ritz
Got a
Theater.
lot of investigations coming up too.
Yeah, we're
Nice.
going to be a
I'm
different
gonna, and
location.
as soon as we get off, we're gonna be like, oh, we forgot this and we forgot this. But
Yeah,
that's
I
what
have
happened.
everything written down. Different things.
Yeah. And you guys are all on the East Coast, right?
we are. I'm in
Yeah,
New Jersey.
I'm
he's
in New York. I'm in
And
Queens.
and I love when people friend request me on
New
Facebook.
Jersey
Like
person.
I'm the opposite of a lot of people. Like, please say hi. Come say hi
Yes,
to us
agree.
on our Seekers Chronicles.
Yeah.
You know. We're
Yeah.
on
When
Facebook, we're
I
on-
put the ad out earlier and I typed you guys' name, it brought it up right away. Oh, we're already friends. Cool, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 to 10
I know
p.m.
that
8
too.
to 10 p.m. Tuesdays, just before you can watch us. Give
Right. Hey,
it a
I'll
try.
have to start tuning in. I'll check you guys out.
Oh, it's a lot of
You
fun.
know?
That'd
Alright.
be awesome.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
that's
much.
cool. No,
We're
thank
it's
you.
such a pleasure to be here.
I greatly appreciate you guys coming on, especially at the last
Of
minute.
course.
You
Of
know,
course.
I love you guys to
Anytime.
death. I look forward to
Anytime.
future conversations with you guys.
That'd be
So,
great.
if you want to hang around, we'll talk a little more bit backstage. But
Sure.
our hour's up. I want to tell everyone thank you for tuning in tonight. And remember, life is too short to dream your life away. Get out there and live your dreams today. Other than that, Gwen, take us away, please.